hello to books, beer, and
And
wine.
wine.
We decided to record episodes where we discuss and talk about our favorite books. Right now is the time to read. There will never be that much time to read a book than it is now.
Yeah.
Our first episode is going to be about the amazing book, or maybe our favorite book.
Yeah, so it's definitely one of our favorite, or one of my favorite
Yeah,
books
one
of
of
all times.
my favorite books as well. So since we both like it that much, we thought that would be the perfect start for our vlog.
For our book club.
Book club.
It's a two-person book club.
Yes.
And whenever the pandemic is over, feel free to join us for an evening of books, beer and wine.
Yes. Cheers. So, our first novel that we're gonna discuss is Less by
Andrew Sean
Greer. And we recommended it a few times on our Instagram and on our blog, but we never discussed it in such detail. Yeah, so we're gonna start with that now. And to all you queer folks out there, this is your must read for the pandemic. And not only for the pandemic, but
it's a must read.
You should read this book because it will make you feel happy, sad, it will make you laugh, it will make you cry. It will bring out all those feels. Yes. And that's why we love it so much.
Yeah. But you will definitely finish it feeling very good.
Yes. It's not depressing.
No.
Not at all.
Absolutely
So,
not.
Elze.
Yes.
What is this book about? Tell all those people what this book is about.
So the book is about Arthur Less. That's where the name comes from. And it tells the story of a not very successful author it's going to be his 50th birthday.
Yes.
And he's definitely in a midlife crisis.
Yes.
And he is single, and his former lover of quite a few years is going to marry, and he's invited. And he feels he can not just say no, I don't come, because they never had a bad breakup, so they are supposedly still friends.
But it would hurt too much.
Yeah,
if he goes there.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to witness this wedding.
Yeah, and he thinks it's going to be weird and all those feelings, and so he decides
to run away from his problems.
Yeah, that's a very negative way to put it. He decides to go on an adventure. So he had tons of invitations for
events that are not really events sometimes.
And short trips with friends, and lectures, and there are a few ceremonies he's invited to, and he would never do any of these. But he figures if he does that, if he goes to all these things, he has a very good reason to decline the invitation to that wedding. And yeah, that's how the book starts, or what the book basically is about. We follow Arthur Less, on his journey around the world, and he experiences so many things. What you just said, some are funny, some are sad.
He always meets someone, we should say, of course he's a gay man, aging,
yeah, we didn't
facing many fears that come with the age, midlife crisis, and then he has to face the loss of his former love, because of course it's always been a loss because he's not together with him anymore, but now that his lover is marrying another man, the loss is
It's a definite loss.
Definite loss. So to not face his own emotions and to not face this weird and awkward meet up with his former lover, he goes on this adventure. And in every country he meets other people. So and there's love he meets, all kinds of love he meets. And it's super exciting to see his emotion and his character evolve during this process. Because he's often confronted with his own past, and all those encounters he makes are there to reflect about his own past and his relationships and his love life and all the things he experienced so far. So and each encounter leads to a new understanding of things.
Yeah. So we don't want to reveal too much because it's a wonderful book, and but I think we could tell you about his stations.
Yes.
Yeah. So it starts in New York.
Yes. And then he goes to Europe.
No,
Mexico.
Mexico.
First of all, he goes to Mexico.
Yeah.
And then he goes to Europe.
Yeah.
Many places in Europe, like there's Italy.
Yeah, so that's his first stop after Mexico. And then he goes to Italy. And then and then he goes to Germany, to Berlin. And that, for us as Germans, that was one of the most
entertaining parts of the book.
Yeah, definitely, because he's a very adept German speaker. So I think we leave it at that. And a very good teacher. He's a very good teacher.
Yes, he teaches a course at a university.
Yeah. And then he goes to France.
To France, yeah.
Yeah.
And where does he go after that?
Morocco.
Morocco.
Yeah, he goes to Morocco, which was a pretty nice chapter as well, I think. And
Japan?
no, India.
India.
Yeah.
And then he goes to...
Then he goes back.
Back, yeah.
Yeah. He goes back home. And so what I would like to say about the ending is that I saw hints before, in a way, but I never expected the book to end as it did. But it's a good ending.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't expect it, and I was reading. She read it before me, so when I read it, I was lying next to her when I read the last chapter, and then I was like, what's going to happen now? He's going back, and then I was like,
yeah.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah. It's a very, very, very nice ending. Yeah.
The book is very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, the book is awesome.
Authorless is someone to
you can
sympathize
identify
with. Yes, you can identify with him on so many levels, and that's what makes it funny, because his thoughts aren't necessarily funny, because sometimes they're just tragic, but the way he thinks about it or the way it's written, it makes you chuckle, because it's just so true. Maybe that's the point, because it's so true, and life is so funny on so many levels.
Yeah. Not in the situation necessarily, but certainly afterwards.
You can identify with Arthur Less on so many levels. I mean,
Yes.
he's a gay man in his midlife crisis, but I feel like when I'm reading this, I feel like I'm with him on so many levels.
Yeah.
Because we've all felt this way, and we've all had those thoughts he has.
And insecurities.
And
He's
insecurities.
so insecure, but in a
sweet and honest way.
Yeah.
I think it's the honesty that I love about the book, because it's so, the thoughts he has are so real. My favorite character of this book actually is the protagonist.
Arthur, yeah.
Yes.
Mine too.
That's rare because I read a lot of books and you read a lot of books, and it's not always necessarily the main character that's your favorite.
No.
If I would have to name one thing that makes this book so special, then I would say it's the honesty about it.
Yeah. We give it 100 points of 10 available points. So really you have to read it. Read it. And if you didn't get it yet, read it. It's one of the best books you would ever read.
Yes. And like Anne Patchett said, I recommend it with my whole heart.
Yes.
That's what we would underline.
We hope you enjoyed our very first books, beer and wine.
Yes. And we would love to know
If
you read the book,
yeah,
and if so, how much you loved it.
yeah.
Because you definitely
Not if,
how much you
how
loved
much,
it.
yeah. And who's your favorite character? And what was your favorite stop on his journey?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we hope to see you soon at the next BBW. Bye.
Bye.
We decided to make a bookstagram,
We decided to do a virtual book club.
a virtual book club.
No, that's not true.
And we decided to make a virtual book club, or whatever you want to call it, a virtual book recommendation, whatever. And
we do a virtual book review. No, we do a video book review. We are so well prepared.
COVID, Corona, however you
pandemic.
call that shitty virus. Tragic is always connected with funny moments.
We'll give it 100 points from 10.
Yes.
No, we'll give it 100 point. Wine is working its magic. We'll give it 100 points of 10 available points.